Hi lovely people, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. If you're a new viewer, welcome if you are returning. And it has been quite a long time since I last recorded a crochet and knitting podcast. I don't think I need to explain why. So if you are I'd like to say relatively new subscriber, but basically in the last 7-8 months, if you've only just recently joined my channel, you've probably seen all of the planning videos, and I like to share how I use my planner. I share things like my Cocoa Daisy subscriptions. I share new releases for my shop, ELLIEBETHDESIGNS UK. And you probably haven't seen the other side of my channel, which is the Adventures of Yarnia, and this is where I share everything I've been crocheting and knitting, because as you've probably gathered from if you've seen any other videos, you know I like colour. I mean, you only have to look at what I'm wearing today to know that I like colour. This is a new dress, it's from Foxy, which are online, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Really loving it. But yes, I love colour, and you can see from the things that I've got around me as well, there's even more colour. So I'd like to share some of the things that I've created in the last couple of months. There's been more than I'm going to share with you, but I think it's as well just to have a bit of an overview. And I want to share what's in my works in progress basket. This enormous basket of projects, which actually isn't all of them. But you know, I am nothing if not somebody who likes to have lots of things on the go. And I've also got a couple of little ideas and things that I'm going to be making to share too with you. So that being said, grab yourself a brew. I've got some coffee this afternoon in my unicorn mug. Get yourself settled in, grab your knitting, your crochet. If you're a planner, grab your planner, maybe do some sticker rating and get sorted for the week to come. And I hope you enjoy spending some time with me. Thank you for being here. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with a couple of things that I've made recently, and I'm going to start with socks, because I am super proud, because I've finished the One Moment in Time socks that I've been working on for ages. And this is a pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, who, if you don't watch Kay and Dan over on their channel, you really must. And just look at the detail in this. I love this pattern so much now that it's finished. I cannot say that I loved every moment knitting it, because yeah, I found it quite difficult. Nothing to do with the pattern, it's me, I can't count. I love the look of a lace textured sock. I really do, and I love how the pattern just kind of, you know, has that feeling of swirling leaves going down the front of the sock and on the back. And yeah, it is so beautiful. The yarn is gorgeous as well. This is 1917 from, I think it's 1917, from Nora George Yarns, from Tracy over there. It's based on hydrangeas, and I believe it's named because that was the year that her house where she lives was built, and there are hydrangeas in the garden. I think that was the story behind. But the problem I've got is that all of this glorious texture does show up, and the patterning, but I just love the plain stockinette foot pretty much as much, if not more, than the actual pattern part. I love this here. I just think it is so pretty, and I love seeing all the colours and being able to pick them out. So yeah, love the yarn. The contrast heel and toe and cuff was a mini from, I can't remember now. I think, yes, this was a mini from Knit Cosmic Strings, their website, and I think it's called something like Blackcurrant or Elderberry, something like that. and so I just put it with it. And what I have to say though is that check out my little heel turn and the gusset pickup there. No gappy gaps, because Kay has brilliant tutorial videos and techniques for making sure that you don't get a little gap there. So I really value having that additional sort of pattern support and guidance on it. So those are, I'm only showing you one, I promise you there is another one. But that is my one moment in time socks. I'm very glad they're off the needles. I have been wearing them a little bit, and yeah, they are really comfortable, great pattern, fit really well. So I would recommend it if you're somebody who likes lots of texture. I tend to need my sock knitting to be a bit, I don't like the word mindless, but it needs to be intuitive. And because I don't do cables and things like that, and it took me ages to see how the pattern was forming, because it was quite a learning curve, I think. It took probably until the end of the second sock for it to feel a bit more intuitive and like I knew what was coming. So my next pair of socks are another pair by Kay, and this is Shell Cove, and I love these socks so much. I think I've figured out that my favourite kind of sock to knit has a bit of detail down one side, or possibly both sides, but not all over. So it needs to have a little bit of something, but not so much that most of it is, but I need most of it to be just plain stockinette. So this little pattern down here is just so pretty. It's got like the little waves idea and the shells on the beach, and it's just, it's gorgeous. And I knit this out of Biff Sugar Yarns, and it's the Beatrix colourway sock set. Isn't it glorious? You see, on the other side I get to enjoy all those lovely speckles and colours in the stockinette, and so that is making me very happy, because basically I get the best of both worlds. I had something to keep me occupied and to think about as I was knitting, and then I got lots of stockinette as well, and I can enjoy the yarn in both ways, which makes me very happy. I use 2.5mm needles for my socks. I normally do 64 stitches or whatever the closest is in the pattern. And both of these, unusually for me, have got a heel flap and gusset. And on this one I did do the Eye of Partridge heel, because I just think heel flap, I think it just looks really nice with the texture. And I think it was a square heel turn, yes it was, which may or may not have been the pattern, I can't remember, but I did a square one because I know it fits well. And then the pick up and decreases down and then all the way to the toe, which is a cottage toe, which is Kay's in one of Kay's patterns. It's probably in their pattern. Yeah, I tend to mix and match my toes and my heels a little bit. So I mentioned then I do them on 2.5mm needles. Well, I was hearing that maybe 2.25 might be better, and I thought, I have done 2.25 in the past with merino nylon, sort of hand dyed, and I have a couple of pairs of socks in that, and they're great, they're really comfortable, and obviously you get a denser fabric, so it feels like they're going to wear a bit better. But I wasn't sure whether I needed to cast on more stitches or whether I could get it to work or not, and so I decided to have an experiment with a ball of opal yarn which I had, and I think this is in their Fresh and Fruity range, and I think it's the one that's the peppers. I've left the ball band downstairs and I'm not running down to get it because a child will inevitably nab me and probably go, "I'm hungry," to which my answer will be, "There's the kitchen," or "There's your father, but don't eat him, just get him to make you something." But yeah, I think it's the one that's like the red and green peppers, and I've had this in my stash for a while. Now, when I looked at this and when I looked at the ball band, I thought, oh, I really like that. It looks a little bit watermelony. And I decided I cast on 64 stitches, I did toe up and I did a, oh, what did I do? I think I did an umbrella toe. What did I do? I did some sort of toe. Sorry, I think it's an umbrella toe, which again will be a Kay pattern because she does amazing sock patterns. I'm also a patron of theirs, so I get a discount on my patterns because I give them, you know, so much per month and things. And as I started knitting this, all this brown started happening, and I hadn't really noticed that in the ball. So I was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure if I like it actually. Anyway, I just did a Fish Lips Kiss heel as well because I've done a couple of other pairs of socks this year using that. It makes it very, very square, doesn't it? I've not actually blocked these, I don't think. And then I did a 2x2 twisted rib with an extra stretchy bind off. But the problem is, they don't fit. It's too tight for my foot. It's too tight across the instep here, and it's too tight here to get it, to even just get it on, despite doing a really stretchy bind off. I think it's Jenny's very stretchy bind off that I normally use. So it is only a one sock, this one, because I haven't done the other one. I just wanted to see what it was like on the 2.25, and whilst yeah it feels super sturdy, it doesn't fit. And of course you have to do more rows to get the same amount of fabric, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be converting to 2.25s, even though things like on this, they feel a little bit loose after, you know, a day's wear. Now, wool socks, I don't wash them every time I wear them. I tend to wear them a few times maybe, and then I'll put them for wash, because, you know, your feet don't sweat in the same way in wool socks as you do in acrylic, man-made fibres. They're just, even despite having the nylon and being superwash, they're just so comfortable. I love wearing wool socks. You can't beat hand knit socks. So my experiments are not quite been very successful. I'm also a little bit irritated that I knit an entire sock that I'm not going to wear, and my daughter's feet aren't big enough yet, my eldest. She's only a size 2, so I've got a tickly nose, probably from all the yarn. She's only a size 2, I'm a size 7, so you know, she's got some growing to do. As I also said, I don't really like the brown in this yarn. I didn't notice that there was that much of it, and I certainly didn't notice that it kind of had this big dark section in the middle. I love from here to here, ignoring the heel, but I'm not very keen on that middle bit. So I don't want to waste the yarn though, so what I might just do is keep that sock, because I'm not going to frog a perfectly good sock yet, knit another sock out of this with a heel flap and gusset this time to get the extra space on the instep, and then possibly increase for the cuff. I'm not sure, haven't quite figured out the cuff bit yet, but I know I definitely need more space on the instep. So yeah, the thing with that though is that it's like, it takes time, and I kind of just want to knit something that I know will work. But my idea was to, oh, and the other thing I was going to say is that I will actually cut the yarn and cut out that section that I don't like, so I can have socks that I do like. That would make me happier to knit it. Yeah, I don't think more stitches is the answer, because when I can get it on and really stretch it, it feels really, really comfortable. It felt great up until I put the heel in. So it's maybe the heel that needs to be done, and I suppose I could actually take out that Fish Lips Kiss heel, because I could pick up before and after it and put in an afterthought. So I might have some experiments with that, we shall see. So there we go, those are kind of some of my finished things. The other two finished things that I have it's a 2/3 finished project, and it's these mandalas here. So let me just pick one up and pop it here to show you. So this is a pattern by Deirdre at Look At What I Made, and it's actually her Camping in Cornwall rug. That's not a rug, no it's not. I made it obviously much smaller, and I used a Shepshi's Whirl in Melting Macaron which I had, and so I've actually done it so that I finished this one and then went on to this one, so that the colours actually are from the same whirl. I still have, let me find it in the basket of whips. Works in progress for those who might not know. That sounded so dodgy. I have this left. I'm fairly certain this is a whirl that I recaked. So I've got kind of purpley lilac through to that amazing blue in the middle, and on that side you can see some more of the colour transition. It is so pretty. And so I'm going to make a third one with this, which then will be the blue, the purples through into that blue. And then the three of them, I'll mount that one in a hoop as well, an embroidery hoop. And then the three of them will sit kind of as a piece of wall art on my landing, which I think are just going to look awesome. And I really enjoyed making these, and I'm quite looking forward. I've kind of been saving doing the third one for a little bit because they're just so much fun. Oh dear. So this is a 14-inch embroidery hoop I just bought on Amazon, and then once I had made the mandala, which I used, have I got a hook in here that I can tell you about what size I used? Yeah, I used a 3.25, a clover, a more, which are my favourite crochet hooks. I love how they feel in the hand, and they glide so smoothly, so they're just perfect. And let me just see if I got my pattern. I need extra hands today for all of these things. Yeah, here we go, this one. So it's actually a free pattern on her website. However, I purchased the printer friendly version on Ravelry because, do you know what, I kind of thought, I think it cost me, was it £3.50, £4.50? I thought for that amount of money to support her, because I absolutely love her patterns. You know, I've got my Sophie's Universe here, which is in the Rainbow Colour Crafter colourway, and was one of the first things I made actually, and I loved every stitch of it, I really did. Possibly apart from the gazillion million back post stitches at the end, but even then it was like, yeah, we're getting to the end. And so yeah, so that's the pattern, which you can get on her blog for free, but I chose to purchase it and download it because I thought if I'm going to make 3 of them, I want a nice easy pattern to follow. Yeah, so those are my mandalas, and I had a bit of an idea in that I thought I've got quite a few, or I've got a couple of whirls, which they're just so beautiful. I love the gradient yarns. I love gradient yarns. They're just so much fun, you know. They always sort of keep your interest because you're waiting to see what the next colour's going to come and how's it going to change and what will it look like. And I thought that what I might do is have a bit of a project of making a mandala wall, because in our house we've got, it's a central staircase in the hallway. It sounds very grand, that, doesn't it? But it means that there's a lot of, you know, there's basically 2 floors worth of wall in the stairwell, sorry. And I thought it could be really nice to put some colour there and maybe put some different mandalas up and make lots of different things, because I just loved making that. It was so much fun. And I don't necessarily want to make like blankets all the time, you know, with mandalas. I want to maybe just make them a bit smaller and then come up with other ways to include them around the house. So yes, So that is that. Makes me very happy. Which also kind of brings us onto works in progress, doesn't it? Okay, quick coffee break, and I also have sugar on a plate in the form of a Pop-Tart. I'm being very naughty. So I think it's time now that I grab my basket of works in progress and share them with you. I have got quite a few things on the go, as you're going to discover. Mostly crammed into this basket, which I bought at Yarndale last year and I absolutely love it. Gutted there's no Yarndale this year. Understandable, but you know, there you go. That being said, there are, it has meant that for independent yarn dyers, their shops have been much more full online. And I can't say that I'm not sorry about that, because there were some dyers that I wouldn't be able to get hold of yarn from. I'd kind of see their update and just go, well, there won't be enough, or you see the pictures of what they've dyed for shows and kind of think, well, I'm not going, so I can't get that. So I don't know, I like things online. It's easier. Although going and squishing is so much fun. So I have quite a few projects to talk through. Obviously we've talked about the Mandala project, which I've got one to go. I think I'll show you first of all what's on my knee in this bag. So this is a bag that I made myself. I think all but one of my projects are living in bags that I made myself, actually. I do put them in my shop from time to time, and at the moment my sewing time is all going on advents for my planner box, which have got like planner pouches and pencil cases and things in. But I do have a couple of project bags going in the shop this month, and which will be the 16th. Yes, 16th, Wednesday the 16th. And I also have quite a few already cut out, ready to sew, so I need to crack on and do those as well, as I love to sew. So this is my kind of rainbow bag. It's made from Tilda fabric and a solid that I can't remember where it's from. It's got a little bit of stitching on. Now it has one of my old tags on. We're off on a little diversion now. So my old tags said made by Rachel with my little ELLIEBETH butterfly on. And then I discovered there's actually a shop called Made by Rachel on Etsy that sell project bags, and I thought, oh no. So I can't use those anymore, can I? So I actually now have, and have I even got one with it on? Have I got, no I haven't. I actually have new tags now, which are just ELLIEBETHDESIGNS UK, and they're my butterfly, and if I can I'll pop a photo in here of something with one on so you can see what I mean. But yeah, I was a bit, oh whoops, because I certainly wouldn't want to be infringing or, you know, causing confusion there. So in my rainbow bag is living my rainbow sweater. I am making the V-back tee, which is a paid for pattern by Knitosophy, who is, I can't remember, oh no, I've forgotten her name. Oh, I'm so bad. Let me see if I can find it. I always put my patterns in silly orders as well. Jamie Hoffman, there we go. So, the V-back tee. So it is a kind of colour fadey tee in the original thing. It's got a V at the back, but you can wear it the other way around, which is exactly what I'm going to do. But I decided to make it rainbow, because why not? So this, oh, I've just dropped my yarn, never mind. So this is where we're at the moment. So I've done like the yoke, I've done all the way down the body in the stripes, and I actually went back and did the sleeves because I just wanted to get them done. Let me show you the back as well. Look at these colours, aren't they amazing? These are actually Advent minis from 2018 from Nora George, and they're what I have had left, plus a couple of other little minis that I threw in just to make the rainbow a bit more, you know, like I wanted another solid sort of yellow and then I'm not sure that that green was in it, I can't remember now. So I have been very good. I spent some time the other night when I had done the sleeves is what I meant. I was very good and I went and sewed in all of my ends. And what you have is you have this kind of central decrease which creates the V, and then at the point that I've got to, I'm now working short rows, kind of going all the way round and back and round and back, which will then lengthen the back out, I think is the idea. I think I can say that, not giving too much away. So it's a really nice design. It's, you know, there's loads of things in there that I haven't done before. Certainly working short rows like that I've not done before, and just reading and understanding the pattern as I've been going through it has been quite easy because it's I do think it's well written. I love some of the little details in it, and yeah, it's just really fun to do. I am using, what needles am I on at the moment? 4mm with fingering weight yarn, so it is very drapey, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be quite drapey, and I do intend to wear it with the V at the front because I think that'll be quite flattering for my body shape as well. And yeah, I love this kind of central spine down here. It's so pretty. Look at those colours, they make me so happy, they really do. And I decided to go with, I did my sleeves a little bit longer than in the pattern. I did them to the length of another jumper that I have that I like, so they should hit about here. And I didn't want to do them any longer because I just get too hot. But the blue, the navy blue that I'm using is from Lay Family Yarns. Oh, it's a gorgeous tonal. Let's try not to let the camera blow out too much. And I think it's called Flint. Look at that, so pretty. And then the rest of my little minis I've got in here, so I've got things ready to go. And I'm going to add some purples in as well because the advent calendar didn't go as far as purple. So I have these which are from, and kind of a bluey purple. These are from Hedgerow Yarns. They're her little mini Tiddlers, little 10g skeins, because I'm finding 10 grams is about enough to do the amount that I'm doing per colour. So I did have to do some extra maths. I did have to work out how many rows I would need to do for my jumper, for my gauge, because the measurement, the pattern uses inches and says, you know, knit for this many inches and what have you. So I had to work out how many rows that would be and then work out how many rows per colour I would do. So that got quite a lot of love last weekend. I decided that it was going to be Sweater Saturday last weekend, and I put in, I think, about 2 colours and the sleeves, but I've then had a bit of a break from it. But I will pick it up again this month. I'm kind of trying to look at my projects at the moment as the progress that I make on them per month rather than looking weekly. And that's sort of working quite well. So I have a page in my planner where I jot things down. I kind of put what I've worked on and where I started at the start of the month, and then where I got to by the end of the month. It's just nice to see the kind of the progress happening. So pop that one away. Rescue the yarn, which is now trying to escape underneath the chair that I'm sat on. Oh, this colour. This is another Hedgerow yarn. Look at the colours in that. Try and get it to focus. Come on, camera. My face is not as interesting as yarn. Really, it's not. Oh, I've dropped it again. Let's just give up. Right, what shall we grab for next? I think I shall grab this bag. So this is another one that I made. It is a slightly quilted sort of patchworky bag, using some Tilda fabrics again. and I put a zip in it because I needed to practice putting zips in. I put a little handly thing on, and yeah, nice little bag. This has actually got a blanket in it, believe it or not, and it is made with the Harry Potter Blanket Club from Nora George Yarns. So this was back in July, and then we've had in June, we've had, is that August? Yeah, we've had August, and I've also got September's in here as well, which the theme was Back to Hogwarts, and oh, they're so pretty. So the idea of the Blanket Club was, you can see in the background of that there is a, like it's on like a neutrally kind of slightly speckled yarn, and the idea is that the Blanket Club, you can choose to have the minis by themselves, which is what I'm doing, or you can get the minis and a main skein which stays the same every month, and then she's off, you know, suggested various patterns that you can use. So I decided, in my wisdom, to do kind of little squares. Let me show you this. So I'm going to do a square every month with each month's club, and this one is the first one. It's Teachers of Hogwarts. So you've got like Snape, you've got Hagrid, you've got Professor Sprout. In the centre is Trelawney, and then McGonagall's over here. There we go, that's a more accurate colour. And so there's tons and tons of patterns out there for doing these little squares. Quite a few people call them Cozy Memories blanket. I think that is actually a pattern out there, isn't it? Now you must forgive me, I can't remember whose pattern I ended up using for a mitered square. I think I literally just googled mitered square and did that. I am then, having joined them, because I'm joining as I go, which makes it easier, and then actually crocheting the border, because I don't like the look of a knit border. So I decided to do 3 rounds of linen stitch in just a plain, I think this is a Debbie Bliss, just a nice plain, I think the baby cashmerino. So it's actually, I think it's actually classed as a sport weight, I can't remember. So I've done that square and I've done this one. Got a few ends to sort out on this one. Oh, look at the colours in that, aren't they awesome? It's so, so pretty. And this one hasn't been blocked. I did block that one because I was trying to work out the sizing. So you can see the difference, can't you? Look how neat, and that just sort of flops there. But then I will do, again, I'll do a bit of another border round and then join as I go with all of my squares. And I think they're going to look really, really pretty. My current ones, which is using the Diagon Alley little set. This is where I'm part way through a square over here, so let me just sort of bend that out. So I've just got those so far. And they're really nice. They're, you know, I can knit a square in a day, in the sort of a bit of, I have about half-hour knitting time in the morning before the school run, and then I can finish that off. I probably need another 10-15 minutes of an evening to finish them off. But they just look so lovely, all kind of, you know, hand wound balls. They just make me very happy. And these are the Back to Hogwarts set that will be the next one to work on. Oh, colours. I love colour so much. I don't know. There's a thing about sound that if you have a favourite piece of music and you turn it up louder, you actually enjoy it more. You get more pleasure from it when it's louder. And sometimes I feel like that's true of colours as well. Not necessarily that they have to be brighter or, you know, loud colours in that sense, but the kind of the depths and the interplay of different things. I mean, look at this bit on this skein here. Just look at that. all the different colours and speckles and things in it. Amazing. I'd love to dye yarn. It's so much fun. I also know that it's a lot of hard work and quite a physical thing to do, but I would love to learn a little bit more about it and have a go. I think it'd be quite entertaining. So that is my Harry Potter blanket. It will obviously have to move into either a bigger bag, or I'll just start just keeping the section that I'm working on in this as time goes on. Right, quick bit of coffee. I always think it's quite nice to have something that each month, if I make a square each month, then in a year's time I'll have done it and I'll have a blanket. And each square is only taking a small amount of the yarn anyway, so I've got tons left over for other projects, which is really fun. Okay, next up is let's have a crochet project, another crochet project. So this is living in my kind of floral flowery bag. I like this one because it's got quite a contrasty pink lining, so it's easy to see inside. And I am making the Spotting Clouds top by Christina Hallering, who is a spoonful of yarn. And there we go, there's the pattern photo. So you can see it's quite a cropped sleeve on this, and I suspect that I'm going to need to lengthen them a bit for how I like to wear things. But I'm using a Shepshi's Whirl in Lavenderlicious. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, so pretty. And I got the matching whirlette that will be like the next colour, because I think I'm going to have to make this top a bit longer than the pattern calls for. So I am so far, let me just get this right around, here we go. So I finished the yoke and the top part. Yeah, just stroke. Dear me, that didn't go well, did it? So I finished the yoke and the top part, and you can see what I mean about the sleeves being quite cropped. I think I'm going to need them bigger. And then you have all of these different sort of cloud patterns. So you can see there kind of the detail and the texture on this is amazing. And then here we've got these little puff clouds or something, little puff stitches. And of course the yarn is doing the work because it's another gradient cake, so it's doing the job and making the colours work. I think this is going to need quite a lot of pretty aggressive blocking. She actually has you block out a section before you carry on, and yeah, I think I am going to have to go back and do a lot more blocking. I also was reading around on Ravelry sort of some of the project notes for people who've made it before, and one of them said that they went up a hook size after the section that I'm at, so that's exactly what I've decided to do, is to go up a hook size now, because I just think I'm going to need it a bit more drapey, and I can feel like with the single crochets it's quite a dense fabric, which yes you want because you don't want people to just see through your top, but I've just put a vest top under it anyway. So I've not done a lot on that in the last week or two. It's going to need to get some more attention. A lot of my crochet time has been going on the Camping in Cornwall mandalas. But that's that. And we've got two more to look at, I think, in here. Yes, we have. So we've got two more things to look at, two more works in progress, a pair of socks and a shawl. Let me show you my socks first of all. So this is living in a little bag that I made, and I'll have a couple of these going into the shop next week on the 16th. These are perfect for sock projects. They'll take a skein of yarn, and if you've got contrast then that, and yeah, they're just really, really fabulous and just a brilliant size. So I am making the, well, I'm kind of doing a bit of a pattern and changing it, like you do. So I got the Sherry Iris Flower Power Fund yarn in May, which was my birthday month, and this was a birthday gift. And it was Wild Strawberries. There's the artwork on the label. I mean, look at that little watercolour. Which I can't remember if it's Sherry who does these or her son, I think, works as well with them. It's just so pretty. So Wild Strawberries, and this is the yarn caked up, so it's a bit loosey-goosey. Oh, yoy. There we go, that's better. So here's the yarn all caked up. Look at all those colours. So it's quite subtle, this. And it just came as a skein. There wasn't, I don't know if she did a sock set, I didn't manage to get one if there was. And so I had a bit of a, oh my gosh, I need something in that kind of more muted, almost vintagey feel for because I really like having contrast heels, toes and cuffs. Well, let me show you what I found. I'll show you this cuff and this sock. Look at this. Look at the colour of that cuff. Is that not just perfect? This is this little one here. This is from Lay Family Yarn, and she started doing pick and mix. Look at the dinkiness of these little mini skeins. They're amazing, and so I picked up a few. But just look at them. Aren't they adorable? So they're little 10-gram mini skeins, and there's literally over 100 different colours. Just awesome. Perfect, perfect, perfect for picking up, for doing contrast toes, cuffs, heels. Perfect for little blanket projects. I mean, just look at those all together. Oh, they're so pretty. So, so pretty. And that pink really is that vibrant. And so I got these two because I thought, 10 grams. I'm going to be cutting that bit close to get heels, toes and cuffs. So I got two thinking that I could alternate. And so I think they go really rather well. Which is not bad given I was picking colours off a screen. So the pattern is the Village Fate socks. It's another K pattern. It was actually designed specifically for this yarn as part of the Flower Power Fund, and so, you know, a donation went to Marie Curie, to charity, from having bought the pattern and the yarn, which I just thought, you know, can't go wrong, can you? I am, however, only doing the pattern on the front. I'm not doing, there's like a kind of something to represent a maypole down the back, and I just felt that I didn't want to do that because I just didn't. Because it's another one of those, you do a little bit and then it's nice, plain, easy stuck in it. So that's where we're at. I think I've got a couple of mistakes in the lace, but hey, whatever. The socks, it doesn't really matter. There we go. It on so you can kind of see. 64 stitches, back to my trusty 2.5mm needles, and I get the benefit of being able to see it knit up in just plain stockinette as well at the back, which makes me very happy. So I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to do, say, no, I'm going to have to decide. Yeah, I haven't decided whether I'm going to do like all green heel cuff toe on this one and then all red on the other, or mix and match them, so one's got, say, red heel and cuff and a green toe and the other one's the other way around. I don't know yet, haven't decided, but I am nearly at the point where I will do the heel. In fact, yeah, I am actually pretty much there for comparing on that one because I like the length of those. And I am going to do a heel flap and gusset on these, although I'm a little bit concerned about pooling with this yarn because it is sort of micro striping, so I'm really hoping that I don't then get any pooling. please. But yes, there we go. Those are my socks that I've been working on. I haven't got any other socks on the needles, believe it or not, because I had my disastrous red pepper, green pepper. Oh, what programme was that? Oh, it was Ready Steady Cook, wasn't it? Where you had red peppers and green peppers for the team and they had to choose. Sorry if you haven't got a clue what I'm on about. It was a cookery programme. It was very interesting. I say very interesting. It was vaguely entertaining. About 4:30 for daytime TV when you've got a newborn. It was good. Oh, I used to watch that with Eleanor when she was a baby. So, those are my socks. I have got plans for another pair though, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But let me show you my final project that is in my whip basket for now. And that is the Find Your Fade shawl. I am so late to the party on this one, but that's okay because I'm here now. I am really enjoying this. So this is a kind of, surprisingly enough, it's a faded shawl using, and it sort of starts at one point, works out and then stays the same width for ages and then goes back. Look at those colours. Oh my gosh. And this is going to be so snuggly soft. Oh, it's gorgeous. The yarn is, it's all from Nora George again. I have a few favourite dyers, she's one of them. And I have got some of her beautiful, beautiful colourways. And they're in merino cashmere nylon blend. So we started off with this one, which is, let me remind myself, is this hot chocolate or cocoa? I can't remember what it's called. Oh, it's hot chocolate, which is this gorgeous, gorgeous chocolatey brown tonal. Then we went to this, which I think is called Dough, yes. And it's kind of a creamy neutral base. It's got like speckles of green and brown in it. And even the odd bit of things like red and orange, it's just, it's so, so pretty. Then I am on this one, which, where's the ball band? It's called Box Hill. And again, I mean, there's bits of blue in this as well. It's just a glorious, glorious colour. And I'm then going to take that through, and then the other two colours that I've got are this, which is this apple cider? I think it very well may be. So a bit more golden yellow in that. And I also have this, which is toffee. Toffee apple, or is it just toffee? Toffee. That's looking quite orange on camera. It's not. It is very. Try and get a more. Go on camera. Let's see if we can get a more accurate. Right, that's a bit better. It's just blowing out slightly. And so the Find Your Fade, you actually use, I think, like 8 or 9 colours. So I've just worked out a colour order, looking at the amount that I need for each section, and I'm just going to work through these and kind of mix them up a bit. So it's had quite a bit of work on it in the last couple of days. It's fabulous. Look at these lace patterns, panels, aren't they lovely? And then you get your fade sections, which obviously there's a bit more subtle than here. But the merino cashmere nylon blend is, oh, it's just lovely to work with. It's so plump and it's just squishy. It's fab. So I'm really enjoying working on that at the moment. It's, as I say, it's had quite a bit of love this week, and I'm just plugging away at it. I'd like to have it this autumn if I can. If I don't, it'll be nice for January. And I think the colours are, they're kind of, you know, they're kind of very wearable, with having the neutrals mixed in as well. So yeah, so that's my Find Your Fade. And that, my lovely friends, is the end of what's in my whip basket. Wow, that was a big long section, wasn't it, this time round? Okay, so let's pop these bags back in here. And I'm kind of thinking, what shall I focus on in the coming week? I think I might have to finish off this colour on my rainbow jumper, and I would like to get the heel done on that sock. And yeah, just carry on for a little bit. So in terms of kind of what plans I've got for my knitting and crochet and things, I have been doing, it has to be said, I have done a lot more knitting than crochet recently. And I think that's just because of what I've been making. I've been making socks, I've been working on sweaters and things, and I got a bit almost out of love with crochet for a little while. So coming back to and having these mandalas has been great. So I obviously want to finish that. The next mandala is kind of my next probably thing to start. And I also wanted to cast on some socks that are kind of a bit more autumnal. And to that end I have some yarn caked up. It's another loosey goosey cake. Oh, it's a Lay family yarn from the Ironbridge collection, and it's called Riverside Amble. Now, I say autumnal, but it does feel a little bit springy as well. Let me try and get that to focus in and pick up those colours. So it's another neutral base, and then it's got kind of green and purple and brown speckles in it. It is really, really pretty. And I was struggling to find a contrast to go with it, because I want to do some sort of pattern on this, but something very subtle. And I didn't want anything too bright for the heels and toes and cuff. So that's why I ordered these. And I haven't quite decided which one to put with it yet, because that could work, but it's a little bit of a contrast to my mind. That could also work, and it would pull out the purples because it's a bit more purple than it's showing there. And then there's this kind of ochre colour, which I think might be the one. Let me put it there, see if we can get that. There we go. And I kind of feel like that's probably the combination that I'm going to go for. Plus that feels a little bit more autumnal as well. But I love the purple in it. I love the little bits of purple. Oh, it's just so pretty. Very, very clever dyer. It's Kelly at Lay Family Yarns. Very, very clever. Yeah, I bought this at Yarndale last year. So I've had it in my stash for a little while. So I think it needs to become something. And yeah, it's going to be socks. I kind of want something very, very easy to knit. So I need to have a think about finding a pattern. I want something that's probably got the pattern down one side, like the Shell Cove socks. And then a nice simple heel, maybe even just a Fish Lips Kiss heel. Yeah, so that's probably my next cast on as well. So those are kind of my plans. So there we go. So thank you so much for coming back if you've been a previous viewer on the podcast. I thought I'd just take a bit of time now just to have a bit of a chat with you really. A bit of a life update or chatter or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we're in September now of the year that doesn't seem to end. Not really. Oh dear. And here in the UK, schools have gone back for the most part. My girls are both now back at school. I have one in the juniors and I have one who's just started secondary school. So yeah, it's been all change in our house this week. I'm really glad that they're back, to be honest with you. I feel that in our area where we live, rates are pretty low, you know, and so I feel like the risk is relatively small where we are at the moment. My girls are sensible. They are doing everything that they need to be doing in terms of, you know, hand washing and wearing a mask for Eleanor at high school. She's fine with that. She's really good at taking care of herself with things like that, and you know, not being silly with it and all these things. But I mean, yes, it is a worry, of course, as it is whenever your kids are not with you. But particularly for my youngest, Elizabeth, you know, she's had 5 months off school. We did do some homeschooling at the start. We did do some stuff that school sent out, and then eventually Eleanor went back for a few weeks for the last month of year 6, and we used, I think it was National Oak Academy for Elizabeth at home, and that worked really, really well actually. But Elizabeth is she's so sociable, so she's needed to get back to being with people and with her friends. And the change in them this week, just from being back, they're just so much brighter. They've got a spring in the step again. And I do feel like, you know, of everything with the pandemic for our family, it's been the effect on the children that's concerned me most. So I'm glad to have them back in school. It means as well, my hubby is working from home at the moment. He's working from home until the end of the year, and then we don't know what will happen. We're hoping that the company he works for will continue some sort of home working. So part of me goes, yeah, maybe 2 days in the office would be good though, love. Because, you know, I'm used to having the house completely to myself. Well, me and the dog and the cat and the fish. But I am used to having my own space, and so I have kind of had to learn, I think I've learned in the last few months, that it's okay to say, do you know what, I'm going to go and do this by myself and shut a door between me and everybody else. I need that. I need some headspace. Working for myself hasn't really changed that much. It's got easier since the girls went back to school, because now I feel like I can focus on what I'm doing rather than always having half an ear and half an eye kind of out at what they're doing, and keeping an eye on what's going on, and you know, just that having that awareness that there are other people in the house and that I'm responsible for, and those kind of things. At the same time, I kind of miss them not being around, but we live. So yeah. So we're okay, I guess is what I'm saying. And I am loving my crafting, being creative. It is definitely bringing me a lot of joy. And yeah, we're in a good place at the minute. It's good. It is really good. So thank you so much for joining me. I was going to say this afternoon because it's an afternoon when I'm filming, but it might just be, you know, it might be morning, might be evening where you are. I hope you've had some nice crafting time and some time just to chill out for a little while. I appreciate you spending it with me, I really do. Pop me a comment down below, you know, let me know what you're working on. Have you got a solution to my 2.25mm sock? I'd love to know that as well. Or do I just go back to 2.5s and accept that they're going to wear out a bit sooner? And in the meantime, lovely people, take care of yourselves, keep looking for the good in every day, and until next time, bye bye for now. Glasses need a clean, can't see, got to see what I'm doing. So if you're I really can't see through these glasses, they're terrible. Oh my goodness me. Do you guys get like this if you wear glasses? You can't see and you can't think or operate at that point. Mouthful of coffee again. Let's try again.